So I think this guy is one of the most anticipated EZAs for the Hero Celebration. Super Saiyan 4 Vegito Xeno, right? This guy actually does seem to be a pretty solid EZA character, all things considered. And, I can't wait to, just try him out here today. I think he will be able to cook just a little bit. I mean, the best thing about this guy is that his stats are absolutely gigantic. His character has LR level stats, which is really good, and I do think that his EZA at the end of the day turns out to be pretty solid. I think that what we really wanted for this guy, though, was a potential slot 1 character, and unfortunately he is not that. So his character obviously is starting off at 225k defense. Now, how he works, I think the main point that was added to his EZA, is damage reduction. So basically, for every crossover or a giant power category ally on the team, you get 5% damage reduction. Now that takes into account whoever has the most allies. So let's say if I ran LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku on this team, instead of, let's say, the Slammer Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Goku, we would have more, that would not count Super Saiyan 4 Goku getting the reduction, because most of the team is crossover, so it would be per crossover ally. So it's the category that has the most units on the team is the damage reduction that this guy gets based off of. So in that situation, he would end up getting 30% reduction instead of 35% damage reduction. So if he's on the full team, he's able to get 35% damage reduction. Now, he gets 180% start of turn, but he does get an additional 60% attack defense on super attack. And then furthermore, he gets another 50% a defense on his super attack effects. So 60% is not really a lot to add on to here. I mean, he's going to go to like 330, 40k defense. Then with another 50%, he's going to shoot up to about the 500 to 600k defensive range on this specific rotation. He's not getting support here. He does still have the high chance to counter. But I think in terms of, is this fine for him? Yeah, I think that this is overall fine for this guy. He is physical, right? So there's many int bosses in the game. Int Omega, Fusions Zamasu, Rose Goku Black, right? A lot of these really tough bosses are physical. I don't think he countered this, actually. We did not see the counter there, but if you try to have him slot 1 and he doesn't counter, he can get a lot of damage taken, even though he does have 35% reduction. So he's hitting a 10 mil attacks right there, and I think the good thing about this guy is that he's always going to basically be able to tank normals, and he has the high chance to counter, which at the end of the day for an EZA, I definitely will take that. Him always being able to take normals, and then he has the 50% chance to live super attacks as a defensive tech, which is really good. If he doesn't counter, though, I think a lot of these, especially type neutral super attacks, pretty much just straight up kill this Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, right? There's not really a way to kind of work around and say otherwise. You pretty much just would die to those super attacks, which is, I mean, at the end of the day, he has a counter chance, and he's an EZA, but it is a little unfortunate. We would have really liked for this guy to be able to, I think, be a stronger slot 1 character potentially, since this Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, he's not really able to be a slot 1 character unless you're able to, how to explain it, unless you use the active skill, right? On the active skill turn, he does get his full defense at the start of the turn. So there's turns where this guy is at 800 to 850k defense, at the start of turn with 60% reduction, and then he's able to sit in slot 1 pretty comfortably, I'd say, especially with the full dodge build. This Vegito, not so much. However, this Vegito is providing a lot of support, I think, to crossover giant power, units. He gives crossover 1 key and 30% attack defense. Then he also does give giant power 1 key and 30% attack defense. So the impact he has on this guy as well is really, really, really huge. He's giving him 60% support. He'd be giving, I'm just gonna heal just cause. He'd be giving Super Saiyan 4 Gohan against a character, 50% extra defensive support, which is pretty huge. Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4s, right? Any of those characters that match in there, Super Saiyan 4 Broly's, right? I mean, this guy, on a rotation where Super Saiyan 4 Broly's fully built up, that EZA, he's going to be looking really good. So here's the counterattack here. Now, keep in mind, funny enough, if you weren't aware, the Hidden Potential System Super can proc out the counter attack, which is really funny. So that's 11 million attack right there, and then that was it. So overall, I think he's pretty. I think he's good. Yeah, I think he's quite a good EZA. He's just not what we necessarily really hoped for the Heroes team as a slot 1 character, but he's good. He's still good. He's still able to help out quite a bit. The Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, he really awakens this guy's power, and I think that's a pretty good thing overall. So we'll just get a couple of extra turns for this guy. We'll see him like with different supports and stuff like that. Like next time we're going to have Pan support on the rotation. We'll see another rotation where he maybe is not giving support, or, you know, getting support, I guess. Things like that. Maybe I could have brought, like, I don't know, Tech Supreme Kai of Time, or another character instead of Lee Limericker. Super Saiyan 4s here, but just in case I didn't get him on rotation with the Limit Breaker Vegito, I would have liked to see him, like, just, how to explain him, with another, like, Saiyan Roar, Super Saiyan, Fierce Battle kind of character, right? Because those are, like, really his main links. This guy, he wants Saiyan Roar, he wants, you know, the Super Saiyan Prepared for Battle, Fierce Battle, like, the general, like, bread and butter for Super Saiyan 4 characters. That's what this guy is wanting, essentially, right? Now, if I was gonna, yeah, again, I think his reduction, though, it could have probably been higher. Like 7% would have been good, I think. And then 50% reduction. I think that, would that have been too much? I don't think so. I think that would have been fine, honestly. Or maybe make it so that he gets, like, a lot of defense sort of turn. I mean, yeah, if it's like they pushed all of his defense to, like, being somehow sort of, like, to where it would be before he receives an attack, at least. Like, what if it's like a Fusion Zamasu ability, where it's like when he's receiving an attack, he gets an extra, like, 60% defense here, and this, like, before he receives the attack, and then give him that 49% reduction, like I said. Would that help him out? I don't know. Even then, I still don't think, would he have enough defense there? As a slot 1 unit, he would be able to probably work in that scenario, because again, he would have the counter chance on top of that. And just that, you know, obviously if he wouldn't counter, he probably would end up dying, which I think your slot 1 units, at this point, you want them to, like, guarantee that you live, kind of. Like, consistency, like, let's say Amon and Raisin, or what's another unit? Like, Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, when he's on the active skill turn, is another example. We'll just use the active skill here. And then, I guess, we'll play the active skill too right now. We'll just use it. Let's blow past this first phase here. And then we'll get to where we are able to see the last rotation for Limit Breaker, not Limit Breaker, Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. I mean, there's like 2 Vegitos on the team, right? This is the normal Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. This guy will absolutely decimate this Nova Shenron. No issues at all. But I guess, yeah, next turn, I guess we're going to end it off on a non-support turn, but that's okay. Let me know what you guys think about EZA Physical Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. If you're satisfied with his EZA, if you're a little disappointed with him, like, what else would you want to see from him? I like him. Like, my thought for, like, the super class kind of heroes team, maybe we'll run, like, examples rotation, like Xeno Super Saiyan 3 Goku in the first slots, and then we'll have, like, Super Saiyan 4 Vegito slot 2, for example, and then we'll have, like, these Super Saiyan 4 characters floating, like Super Saiyan 4 Vegito floating around, right? But that's kind of what we're going to have to do in those scenarios. Fusion Zamasu, like that boss fight, you could probably get away with having the Super Saiyan 4 Vegito rotation. Honestly, against Omega, you could probably get away with the Super Saiyan 4 Vegito rotation, because this guy can extend slot 1 against AGL Omega, and then this guy can extend slot 1 against In Omega. And then, obviously, either or could, well, I guess this guy might be your slot 1 unit against the Tech Omega. You could also run this guy against Omega Shenron now, I think, because of the fact that, you know, you could get his attacks, like his hits in early on in the fight. You can get his full reduction, and we're getting the extra support. Like, that could be like a good character to run this guy for sure. That's just another Super Saiyan 4 character. Okay, we'll just run you in slot 1 here, and then we'll finish things off. What is his defense stat again here? Yeah, 225k sort of turn. So around like 600k range at best with like some support. He did not counter this, by the way. This hits for about like 800, 900k to a mil. Yeah, see, Like, if he gets super type neutral, but like any of these like actual difficult bosses, he would get absolutely floored. Like, he would get wiped. It's just, it wouldn't even be like, it's not even a joke. He would just get, he would get destroyed. It'd be absolutely over for this guy. On the side right here, I'm gonna start just making my thumbnail for this guy because we're pretty much done here. And we want to get this Vegito out, this Vegito showcase out ASAP, right? You already know. The return is almost done. Let's see, where is this Vegito card art? Where's this guy at? Yeah, there he is. I don't know. They could have made him, I think, a little better, but I am satisfied. Maybe I'm being greedy. Let me know if you guys think I'm being greedy with this guy, but that's it. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.